table 6-2, 6-2.
Listen guys, welcome back to the channel. Eala and Zeynep Sönmez stepped onto the clay courts at the Madrid Open and immediately sent a message that echoed across the entire women's doubles circuit. They're back, they're locked in, and they're not here to play around. Today we're breaking down one of the most dominant first-round wins of the tournament so far. Eala and Sonmez took down the experienced duo of Hao Qing-Chan and Fanny Stolar 6-2, 6-2. And we're going deep on exactly what made this partnership click, both tactically and mentally on that court. Before we even talk shot by shot, hold up, we need to understand what was really at stake here, because Chan and Stolar are not just names filling out a bracket, these are proven, battle-tested competitors. Hao Qing-Chan is a true veteran of the doubles tour, once reaching a career-high ranking of world number 5. Number 5. She has partnered with some of the biggest names in doubles tennis. She's been at the elite level for years, and she brings that high-pressure experience into every match she plays. Fanny Stolar is no weak link either. Both players are still sitting inside the top 30 in doubles, and they came into Madrid with serious chemistry built over time and consistent high-level experience. Now compare that with Eala and Sonmez. These two have only recently started forming their doubles partnership, and their ranking is sitting around the 100 mark. On paper, this looked like a clear mismatch, and honestly, in the opening games, the scoreboard started to reflect exactly that. But as every tennis fan knows, listen, this sport is never played on paper. Chan and Stolar came out firing from the very first game. They looked sharp, controlled, and extremely clinical, taking that opening game in a way that immediately raised questions about whether Eala and Sonmez could handle that level of pace and experience. The first two games went to Chan and Stolar, and for a brief moment, it really felt like experience was going to completely dictate the flow of this match on the Madrid clay. But this is exactly where the match completely flipped on its head. Once Eala settled into her baseline position and Sonmez locked into her rhythm up at the net, everything changed in a way you could feel watching it. Eala became the engine from the back of the court, hugging that baseline, driving the ball deep and heavy and setting the tone for every rally with serious intent. Sonmez, on the other hand, was doing exactly what makes her so dangerous in doubles, reading early, stepping in at the net, cutting off angles, and putting away anything even slightly short with clean, sharp volleys. And listen, this wasn't random at all. It was a clear tactical setup built around maximizing both of their strengths.
Eala's job was to apply pressure and own the baseline exchanges. Sonmez's job was to finish points and completely shut down the net. And for most of that first set, they executed that game plan with real maturity and control. After those early drop games, they didn't panic, they adjusted. And they closed out the first set 6-2 in a clean, composed, almost statement-like finish. Now, if the first set was about settling in, the second set was where things got serious, because from the very first ball, Eala and Sonmez looked like a different level of team entirely. No slow start, no hesitation, just immediate control of tempo and court positioning. They were moving as one unit, covering angles together and dictating every exchange like they had been playing together for years. But hold up, Chan and Stolar wasn't just going to fade out. They pushed back hard, and credit where it's due, they started finding openings. There were moments in the second set where they looked genuinely dangerous, especially in the longer rallies where they managed to split the court between Eala and Sonmez and create real pressure. Their experience started showing again, and for a brief stretch, it actually worked, keeping them alive in the set and forcing Eala and Sonmez to stay locked in every single point. But Eala and Sonmez had an answer for absolutely everything Chan and Stolar threw at them. They reset, they refocused, and then they raised their level again with even more clarity and conviction. Once they regained full control of that second set, there was simply no pathway left for a comeback. Chan and Stolar couldn't find the breakthrough they desperately needed. Eala and Sonmez closed it out the same way they finished the first set, 6-2, 6-2. 2 sets, clean, controlled, and fully dominant from start to finish. Now, let's talk about what really makes this partnership stand out, because it goes way beyond tactics or tennis IQ. The chemistry between Eala and Zeynep Sönmez isn't something you just build in a few practice sessions or a pre-tournament warm-up. It's something that clearly comes from time, shared experiences, mutual respect, and a genuine friendship that shows every time they step on the court together. And listen, just watch them between points. The communication, the encouragement, the constant little reactions and celebrations keep both players locked in mentally and emotionally throughout the match.
There wasn't a single moment where you could sense frustration creeping in or doubt showing up in their body language or one of them checking out even slightly. That kind of unity under pressure is rare. You can't fake that. It comes from two players who actually trust and support each other beyond just being doubles partners. And off the court, that connection shows up even more clearly. There's a lightness between them, something you notice in interviews, social media clips, and the way they carry themselves as a pair. They laugh together, they lift each other, and they celebrate each other's individual wins just as much as the team victories. That foundation of real friendship is what gives them an edge when things tighten up on court. Because when you trust someone completely as a person, trusting them in the heat of battle becomes second nature. And that instinct is exactly what we saw in Madrid. When Sonmez moved forward to close at the net, Eala was already adjusting her baseline positioning to cover the space behind her. When Eala went for those big, aggressive strikes from the baseline, Sonmez was already reading the ball's trajectory and sliding into position for the next shot. Their synchronization looked almost telepathic at times, and that doesn't come from a few weeks of hitting together. It comes from two players who have genuinely invested in their connection, both as athletes and as people. That shared competitive hunger is another layer entirely. Neither of them is satisfied just being part of the draw. They demand excellence from themselves, and they demand it from each other. And that same drive is what allowed them to absorb Chan and Stolar's brief surges in the second set and respond even stronger every single time. Madrid has only just started, and Eala and Sonmez have already sent a clear message that they are a duo worth watching closely. A 6-2, 6-2 win over a top 30 doubles team in your opening round, played with that level of control and connection, is not a fluke. That's a statement. The Madrid clay is one of the toughest stages on tour. The conditions are physical, the competition is relentless, and every round gets heavier. But if Eala and Sonmez can maintain this level of intensity, chemistry, and tactical discipline, there's absolutely no reason they can't go deep in this tournament. The power is there, the touch is there, and more importantly, the trust is there. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel.